Welcome back to class, dear students. In this lesson, I will briefly be discussing about HTML5 and what's the difference or similarity between HTML and HTML5. That is another like a kind of confusion you will likely run into as a beginner, like should I learn HTML or should I learn HTML5? So let's quickly go through like exploring its new elements and features that have revolutionized web development. HTML5 is crucial for Web3 developers. It offers advanced functionality and compatibility for building responsive interactive decentralized application dApps. So now, don't be confused. HTML5 is just like when you say you are trying to say what's the difference between Android and Android 13. Because by the time I'm doing this, I think it's Android 13 or 14. Now, Android 13. Now, what's the difference? There's no difference. The Android 13 is just to indicate the version of Android. So it's still Android. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all about what is happening. So when you talk about HTML or HTML5, they are not separate. HTML started normal, then gradually they advance until they reach something they call HTML5. Since then, they have not been major. I think the community agreed not to break a lot of things again, but instead just be doing some minor something, but still under HTML5. But that HTML5, so it became a very, very sticky name like that. So HTML5 is just the version of HTML that, it's on now, and maybe in future they may eventually do HTML6. So don't be confused. Should I learn HTML or HTML5? HTML, when you are learning HTML now, you should learn the latest. I'm using an Android phone now that is Android 13 operating system. So I can't go now and get Android 4. There are a lot of apps, even basic WhatsApp, Telegram, all those things, Twitter. Your browser will not work on it because it's already outdated. So if you are learn HTML, and when you learn HTML now, like we have been learning, you would have seen it's HTML5. So there's nothing special in that. So some of those is just good for you. What are some of the changes they did for you to have idea? It's like semantic elements. What are semantic elements? We still learn more, but these are those special elements that makes structuring, provide a clearer structure. So instead of naming everything just inside the body, everything just paragraph or this, you can now say, okay, this is a section, this is a navigation, this is similar to the main content. You get things like that. So it provides clarity and it helps a lot. You understand, with SEO and all those things. So form enhancement, new form element like date, time, email, URL, and more was introduced under HTML5. Then multimedia element like the video tag we discussed, the audio tag for embedding without third-party plugin was naturally integrated into HTML when doing HTML5 upgrade. So graphics and visual effect, support for scalable vector graphics, that's SVG, that also a form of image that is written in code, and Canva element. So a lot of advanced things are now being able to be done thanks to HTML5. Then local storage, allow web application to store data locally within the user's browser. So when you get to things like, I think, JavaScript and all those, when you begin to deal with user resources, data, all those things, at times you may want to store some things maybe temporarily or permanently on users there. So as they are using it, when they come back to that page, it retrieves whatever is in their local storage, but it doesn't go to any database or something like that. So all those things are there, and from the code we have before, and here is an enhancement. And what I try to just have this done. I just get the AI to do, which you can do. You can take this and put it into like ChatGPT and then tell it to like recreate that to, you know, to form, to be more HTML5 conformed, and which also make it SEO friendly. So when you look at this now, and then we bring it back, sorry. Some of you wonder why you have this as element, just to show you the element on the page I'm working on, and you can reach it by just doing inspect. So that all those things you've learned, you say every of those sites are made up of this basic HTML. Even though this is like a WordPress, they almost all those framework based on HTML, CSS, I'm telling you. So even if you are using React, using HTML, CSS, they still make use of them because they are the basic. That's why it's essential for you to know it. So let's go and put this here. Usually it's loading normally. So let's remove this and place it fresh, so you can see it now much neater and cleaner. And most important thing is the structure. You can see introducing, we've never seen this, but this is indicating this is English. So if it is Indian, if it is Chinese, if it is Japan, if it is Arabic, you get all those things. The language can be specified. So all that help the search engine algorithm. I have a lot of other tools that work with your projects and things like that. So that crawl it especially. You can see viewport, width, device width, initial scale. This one is encoding, chassis, encoding and things like that. So all these things, you can read more about them in all the resources. But that tells you can see those little slight adjustments. You can see this, place this as article. You understand? Introduction to, which is like, you know, article. This is the mint, aside related to it. You understand what I'm saying? So footer, so all those things well organized and structured to be okay both for woman and developer and search engines and crawler and other things like that. So even if search engine, we also have AI crawler now as well. So all this, when you have those structure, it helps to make the sites more easily indexable, the content there and all those things. So you can see it now. I can mint it will, you see, I can put in my mail, enter mail, type. All these ones also, there are additional attributes you can add to the form to enforce it. I think with that type, you can also enforce it to ensure that nothing else, like if I put AB here, you see that is not even allowing me to type AB. But if I type number, if I try to put arts, do you see it? I can't type it. So this ensures that your user does not put the wrong something. If here they need to put number, then when you have enforce it as a type, you understand? You have already enforced it as a type and enforce this as an email. So if it doesn't have that at e.com or something, it will not work. So all those things are checks you do for your form to ensure people don't submit the wrong thing or try to eject your site with spam code or things like that. True, because this one is like it will sanitize it to ensure that whatever is coming in is in that form. So if it is email, it expects email. You can't post a code there and expect it to work. But if you don't check or do all these things, then you can post script and then submit it and then run it on your site and break in and things like that. So those are the major things when it comes to HTML5. Yeah. So That's just it. I will see you in the next lesson. I remain Solomon Foske, the Programming University. Keep the programming spirit and alive, your assurance to succeed as a developer eventually. And please always do good to humanity and nature with your knowledge and your programming skill, and not evil, to make the world and the universe a better place for us all. That's it. See you in the next one. Peace.